This is tip 2 of two actual tips on how to turn landlords, that's residential landlords, into commercial real estate buyers, mainly for single tenant triple net properties. This is Ty, aka the Flip Man. So what I should have done whenever I did the video for GoSection8.com, I should have included Zillow and Trulia along with Craigslist. There are other sites, but the point of all of this is that you're targeting residential landlords. Hopefully you're getting to the owner and not a property manager or an actual realtor that's managing the property. If that's the case, you just have to alter what you say initially to them. I do provide a script, but that's mainly for when you're dealing directly with the property owner. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go into Zillow here and how to use it. It's similar to GoSection8. GoSection8 is a little bit more direct, and I think the information is more in line with what we're trying to do. But these are other free tools that you can use, and that's what it's all about. It's just taking the free information that's available and using it to your benefit to try to do deals. So again, I'm reaching out for others to help me move some of these properties, the ones the grunt work, stuff that I personally don't like to do. So I've learned over the years stuff that you're not good at or that you know you're not going to be effective at. You know, bring others in that are good at it and just share some of the profits. Don't have a problem with that. So we'll go ahead and get into this. But again, whenever, let me just give you the psychology of this. Most residential investors, they're buying and renting properties out for the cash flow that they receive on, and trying to get a return on their money. So it's all the same whether it's commercial or residential. But the differences are, and this is the way you should start out by explaining to a residential investor if you get into deep of enough conversation with them, and it's a no-brainer. Would you rather receive rental payments from someone that works at Starbucks or from Starbucks, the corporation? And the differences are both will pay you rent, but Starbucks money is more guaranteed to someone that works at Starbucks. The other thing is that if you have a multi-family or a single family property, you as the owner would have to pay the taxes, insurance, and the maintenance on it. Now, you may have someone to manage the property for you, which you still have to pay for that also, which is normally 10% of, well, I guess it could be 60%, all that's negotiable, 6 to 10% of the gross collected rent from the property or income from the property. Whereas if Starbucks, the corporation, was paying you, they pay the lease payment, they take care of the taxes, the insurance, and the maintenance. So there's no management in the property. Plus, they take care of all of your major expenses. That's why it's called triple net. Taxes, insurance, and maintenance are your more commonly known nets as far as expenses. So that's why it's more attractive. And then on top of that, they sign a 10-year, 15-year guarantee in order for Starbucks not to pay you for that location. Even if your location closed, they're going to pay the term of that lease out. And the only way they don't pay you, they would have to go out of business altogether. And I think at the time of this video, they have just under 8,000 locations. So that's not likely to happen. Versus if you're renting a house or apartment unit out to someone, you're normally on 6-month to 12-month leases and you don't know what's going to happen. So those are the differences, and that's what you're conveying to a residential owner. It's just a better investment. A lot of them are just afraid of commercial because they don't understand the positive and the advantages that go along with it. And that doesn't even include the escalation that you receive in rent increases, along with the appreciation of a commercial building versus the appreciation of a single family house. It's just totally two different ball games. Whereas with houses, it's all based on comps and what other houses are selling for. So that could be up or down. Whereas with commercial, it's all based on cash flow. And inflation is the commercial world's friend, because as prices go up, so does the rent, so does the value of the property. Those are the difference, just a no-brainer. And if you have to go back to this video to hear what I just all said, then so be it. But let's get into how to handle this on Zillow. Then we'll go to Trulia. Then I'll do a little on Craigslist. All right, so we're just going to use Columbus, Ohio as the test city here for each one of these. So I did a search, and it's automatically just going to do the search for properties that are listed for sale. So I'm going to uncheck this right here, for sale, potential listings. I'm going to uncheck that. Then I'm just going to do for rent. Then just home type, just houses. I don't want to do houses, condos, or townhomes. I just want to do houses. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here, now you can just click on these, then just go back and forth. But normally what I'll do, I'm in Chrome, I'll right click and I'll open another window. Just a little easier to do that way for me. All right. So here we go. Here's one right here. It says RL Property Manager. That would make the cut there. Now, if you're on your cell phone, you have to go down here and probably find that information down here. And you want to look here, not, well, really here, but definitely here is where the actual person that posted the list. Zillow's a little tricky like that. So make sure you scroll down because they may have some other agent names in this area up here, but they're not the actual listing landlord or whoever posted the list. But this would make the cut because this is obviously a property management company. Now, I wouldn't call them. You can call them and you can just send them flat out, just ask them, do they have any clients that would be interested in some commercial real estate investment? And you would offer a referral fee of the transaction. If you're dealing with me, I can approve that. I won't have any problem if they can bring a buyer to the table at all. So let's go back to the next one up here. All right. Okay, so we would go with this one right here. This lady's name is Gail. There's her phone number. So we would call her. You would call her. You would go through the script. Okay, so now what you're looking at now, a lot of these people will post multiple times. Normally it's going to be a property management person there. So you have to make your own decision on this. Now this one doesn't have a name. It just has a phone number. So I'll probably just call that just to see who it is or whatever. But again, I'm not saying don't target property managers or listing agents, real estate agents that have properties that are listed here for rent. But understand just the conversation is going to go. Then you got to give them some incentive to deal with you, because they're not going to do it just for out of the good kindness of their heart. So I already have that figured out before you start dealing with them. All right, let's look at another one here. Okay, is that the same one? I think it was. All right, this guy here, I think he's on here quite a bit. Let's look at another one. Okay, well, you see here, that's a company there. We click both of those off. All right, company there, same company. All right, that's a different phone number, no name. All right, this is someone we recall their phone number. So you get the gist of it. So that's Zillow. All right, so now let's go over to Trulia. Okay, Columbus, Ohio. We already have it in here. We selected rent instead of buy. All right, property type, single family instead of all. All right, so let me right click here. See what we got. All right, no phone number provided on that one, so we're going to go past. All right, I would probably call this person here Gang Investments LLC, because that's an actual investment name. So I would probably call this person here just from the name here, because he's probably going to pick up the phone. All right, definitely going to call this guy here. He only just has his first name there. All right, so let's go down. So Trulia, from my experience, it's a little better than Zillow. Gonna call that lady there. I think she was over there on Zillow also. So you're gonna see some overlapping if you're in the same city. Gonna call this cat here. I think that's the guy that had multiple listings on Zillow. But you know, the more you do this, you'll see some overlapping of it, which is fine. Definitely gonna call her with her name there. You know, so you get the point. So that's Trulia. So now we'll go over here to Craigslist. I already have it pulled up here. You go up here to apartments and housing. All right, so a couple of ways you can go about this. You can do gallery, you can do thumb, or whatever. We'll just leave it over with gallery with the pictures or whatever. So a lot of the times you can just look at the titles on them. You can go through each one of them, and again, it's going to be easy to identify a lot of times whether it's a property management company or just an actual owner. So, you know, I'm not going to go through the Craigslist ones. But let's just do this. Let me go through it as a thumb. You just look at some of these titles, but you get the gist of what you're doing. Similar to Zillow and Trulia, but I just wanted to say that Craigslist was another option. Then you still have HomeSnap, Homes.com. All of those are options also. So there are multiple listing sites out there to provide values information, and they do rentals, obviously, with sales. So if you need a copy of the script, you know, you can go to triplenetcash.com. That's NNNcash.com. Tap on the logo and boom, there's a copy of the script. You don't have to use this. It's only just an option, you know, to give you something to go by. You may come up with something better than I do. It's best to keep records of what you're doing so you can track who you've called, what they said, and the result. But this is a great way to actually find buyers for commercial properties. I'm willing to pay handsomely for those. You can form those. We can go ahead and get them approved as far as finances. So hey, this is an opportunity. Again, you know, you can call me at the number here below, 205-722-7760. This is Ty, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks.